Thank you. Namaste. Good morning. First of all, I would like to wish you a very, very happy Raksha Bandhan, Rakhi. This morning, my sister tied down Rakhi on my wrist. She came all the way from Madhya Pradesh for this occasion. But there are so many sisters sitting here. So I wish you a great day. And of course, you must be brothers of some sisters, so I also wish. I'm not sure whether sisters or brothers are sitting here together, so husbands and wife must be here. But definitely, it's a great day in India, especially in North India. I feel very humbled and honored, because I sit with the people who have changed the image of India, who made us proud. Each one of you not only symbolize, but you are a proof that Indian DNA, the India, has power and potential to shape a new world. It can definitely contribute not only in economy and technology and knowledge and wisdom, but Indians, wherever they went, many of you, have taken millions of years, thousands of years old wisdom, values, ethics, and way of life that is driven by some core fundamental values of compassion and global sisterhood, global brotherhood, global familyhood. So whatever you have earned and whatever you have given to the world, more than that was that your presence has brought something which is ever needed in the world, and even now it is needed much more. Today I was asked by my brother and friend, MR, to speak about slavery, child slavery. I'm not talking about 9 children of the world, because all of us, the international community, has been able to ensure freedom, education, and childhood. I'm talking about the one last child. That child still needs us. 1 out of 10 children is still languishing in modern-day slavery. Today, when India is celebrating Amrit Mahotsav, 75th anniversary of our independence, I am the part of this Prime Minister's committee or board for celebration of Amrit Mahotsav, and we had a very, very good meeting 3 days ago in Rashtrapati Bhavan. And we were all proud of our achievements. But each time when I see that we are making so much progress in all spheres of life, when I see that our children in very young age, my own 7-year-old grandson does a lot of activities on his iPad, and sometimes he is faster than many of us in my age, I feel happy. But at the same time, when I think and I meet those children who have never dreamed to go to school, that is a serious concern. Whose children are they? Children who are producing wealth at the cost of their freedom and childhood and education and health and future. They are all our children. Especially those who are born and grew up with the core values of India. I'm not talking about a particular religion, I'm talking about India as a whole. It is a big challenge for all of them. Just to understand the modern day slavery, let me share with you an incident. Some years ago, we got some information that a group of children, men and women, were trapped into a stone quarry. And more shocking was that they were enslaved and confined into that mine for 3 generations. The grandparents of those children or great-grandparents of some children were brought from Rajasthan to work in Haryana. Somehow, a woman ran away from that place. And it was a coincidence when she was held by her brother, who came on the day of Rakhi. This brother was not enslaved in that mine, and coincidentally, my organization has freed him again from intergenerational slavery. So he came along with his sister, or cousin sister, and we were shocked to learn that all these girls and women were sexually abused every day, every other day. They were never paid any single penny in the whole life. They had no idea about the coins and money. They have never touched a piece of paper. They have not seen electricity. So we decided to go to rescue them. It was in the middle of the night. We decided to go for this secret rescue operation. Of course, it was very risky and very dangerous because I lost 2 of my colleagues in the past who were shot dead and beaten to death. I also had to go through many attacks by such mafia, slave masters. I have my backbone broken, my right shoulder broken, my left leg is broken. But that is nothing in comparison to bringing the smile of freedom on the faces of those children. So we conducted a raid early in the morning, and somehow we were able to bring all the people. I asked young children, 6 or 7 children, to sit in my car because I drive. I cannot depend on a driver. He could be bribed, he could be influenced, he can run away. So it's again very risky. So I was driving very fast to get out of that area in Haryana. And then I saw that all these girls and boys were so traumatized. They were not speaking among themselves because they have not seen roads and buildings. So I asked children who were sitting in the back seat to pick up a bunch of banana which was lying in the back. So I said that, why don't you distribute and eat that banana? They looked here and there, And I said, look at that greenish, yellowish fruit. So they sent it in the front seat. And a girl, 7, 8-year-old girl, who was sitting just beside me, she asked, what kind of onion is it? And the boy touched that banana and said, it neither looks like a potato. What else it is? These children have never seen banana. But I insisted, just eat it, try it. It's a fruit. So children picked up and started eating. Some of them were trying to push inside the mouth, but some of them were just throwing it. And then I saw that they did not learn to peel the banana before eating. And I forgot to teach them. I was in tears. Because this is the difference of very simple knowledge. This is the difference between the ignorance and that knowledge, but this is also the difference between the centuries-old slavery and modern-day freedom, which we all enjoy. You are sitting here in this room because you are born free. You are sitting in this room and able to raise the flag of India across the globe because you had opportunity to go to school and could study. But when this girl, Devli, told, I can't eat it, then I helped in peeling and gave. She started eating. And then suddenly, she put her hand on my shoulder and angrily asked in her language, "Kyore, tu pehle ko nahi aayo?" Oh man, why didn't you come early? She was saying this not because of the taste of banana, but because she has seen the death of her younger brother in the lap of her mother without medication. She has seen that how her mother has been raped when her father tried to save her and he tried to run away from that place. The woman was raped. That's why she was asking, why didn't you come early? Sisters, brothers, this was the question not for me. Perhaps it is the first time in her life that she has trusted someone. But I am passing on this question and this trust to everyone who believe in humanity, who believe in God, who believe in constitutions, who believe in freedom of humanity, who believe in liberty and dignity of a human being. Today we are talking about 160 million child laborers globally. India has a big chunk of it, despite so many progress we have been able to make. We are talking about children who are bought and sold in lesser price than the animals. I've heard the conversation of children when they are freed and they asked each other that how much money you were sold for. 20,000, 50,000. And how much for a buffalo? 200,000, 2 lakh rupiah. We are living in this great nation with great pride. But this is collective responsibility of all those who love India and all those who love humanity. In every hour in India, in my great nation of Buddha and Gandhi and Guru Nanak, 5 children are sexually abused and raped. Every hour. That is the government of India's figure. We are making some humble intervention that is not, of course, And that was not an easy job because people considered child labor and exploitation of children as the part of life when I started. And that was the time when we didn't have enough laws. There were some British laws. India did not make any law against child labor or child slavery. Its own law. So the fight was on different front and still on. One is the mindset. Another one is the legal and judicial fight. Fight on the economic front. How to create an environment where the parents can live a simple life and educate their children. There is a vicious circle between child labor, illiteracy, and poverty. If you allow child labor to continue, you are making sure that they will remain poor and their generations to come will remain poor. If you're not ensuring good quality education for children, it means they will remain poor and their children will remain poor. If you're not providing good education, then child labor will continue. So that is a triangular paradigm, or I would say vicious triangle. Each single child laborer is working at the cost of one adult's job. There are many, many studies where I was the part of it, or at least I was invited to launch it. One was by the World Bank, UNESCO, and ILO joint research. And it says that if you invest $1 on eradication of child labor, then the return would be $7 over next 20 years. If you are investing $1 in education, the return would be $15 in next 20 years. In our own case, in our own organization, I can just tell you as to give a glimpse of it, that today, for example, my organization is investing about $1 million on multiple strategies and actions to stop trafficking of children. That includes training of government officials, collecting data, using technology, creating heat map, collecting intelligence from the survivors themselves. When they are rescued, we gather all possible information and knowledge about the traffickers. Then we have a collaboration with the Indian Railways, the Railway Protection Force of India. We train their officers and we pass on that intelligence to them. In last 2 or 3 years, with that much of investment, we have been able to gather information about 16,000, more than 16,000 traffickers in the country. That is not available anywhere in the world. No country has that data, neither the Indian government could collect that data. We were able to do with this much amount of money. So we learned that how, through our 5 decades or 4.5 decades of experience, that what kind of best intervention strategies will work, how we can work with the communities, how we can work with the government agencies, how we can work with the parents of these children, religious and faith leaders, businesses and philanthropists and other groups in India and across the world. Dear friends, those days are gone when we can simply, or we were simply depending on the state, the governments, to ensure human rights, constitutional rights, or well-being of, or welfare of children and women and the marginalized sections. Now, there are other players. Civil society is a strong player because it has a lot of knowledge and information from the bottom. Your constituency of corporate leaders, business leaders have emerged as a strong protection force of human rights globally. So whatever philanthropic interventions you make, you ensure education, you ensure the climate issues have to be solved. You ensure many of the activities across the globe as well as in India. But much more is needed. I was told by my brother Amar some years ago, and time to time, and day before yesterday also, that whatever Indians give for betterment of India, in many ways, knowledge, technological support, philanthropic support, policy and political support, research support, academic support, much more is needed to solve many of these problems. Each one of you have proven that you are a leader. You have proven your leadership in one sphere, one area of your life and the social life. So the leader is inside you. You need not to look for leaders to come from somewhere outside and do miracles in your life. You have done miracles in your own way. With your conviction, with your dream, with your courage, with your risk-taking, with the strategic thinking, your vision, combination of all these factors have brought you to this situation. So Amar was hoping that this should be, this giving to India should be doubled. I cannot give money, but definitely in your work of Indiaspora, you can always count on me. In whatever way, I can touch the hearts of people, governments, even the faith leaders and institutions, ordinary people. I will try my best, because civilization and slavery must not go together. I strongly believe that there is no negotiation, there is no bargain for freedom. Freedom is a gift of God, and that has to be not only embraced, but lived on and lived with. I wish that you will contribute in bringing about the freedom. Each time when I free a child, I know that there was a life risk, but all those cases, more than 100,000, when me or my colleagues are able to rescue a child and take back to her or his mother, father, who lost all their hope that that child can ever come and sit in their lap after 5 years, 6 years, 10 years of slavery. And the tears rolled down on the face of that mother, the face of joy. When the children, a little son, hugs her mother and start crying in joy in reunion, I tell you, the smile on the face of that mother or that boy, or the tear, every single tear rolls down on the cheek of them, is a glimpse of God. I don't know who and where has seen the God, but I tell you that, or humbly I can say, that I have experienced personally God at least a lakh times, 100,000 times, because each time the God comes. when the tears roll down. I would also just take 1 minute to, this is a great event, and I would use this opportunity to thank some, other than the diaspora, but there are so many members and friends of diaspora who have brought changes in the society, especially in India, by way of supporting us. Sumir Chadda, for example, and then in the GEP, Neha Saha and Subhas and Rupa, and Naren and Vinita Gupta ji. Unfortunately, he is no more, but we always respect Naren Bhai. And Raja Raman and his wife Kaushi, and Sandhil Foundation, and so many others. And a girl whom we rescued from trafficking, who has been raped by 4 people, and when she and her father went to a police station, she was raped by the daroga, the police inspector, the head of this thana, the police station. Somehow we came to know about this incident later on, and we immediately rushed to that place. My colleagues went. She was very traumatized. She could not speak. That was just about a month ago, or maybe 6 weeks ago. Then there was tremendous pressure by the police as well as by other authorities that she should not speak out. But when we made our presence felt, she was able to speak. This police officer was arrested. But the next thing was that she needed mental health support, and the whole family needed some psychological and emotional support. They need legal support, and we have been able to provide all this. And she was in the same ashram, Mukti Ashram, we visited 2 weeks ago. She spent time here, and she was given all this support. And that ashram is supported by Westbridge. And when she went back, she is now in a school, and I was talking to her, and she says that please send my regards and love and hugs to all those who have supported me. And I said, there are not only the Indians living in India, but the Indian origin people living abroad. She didn't know much about it, but she said that I'm so thankful to everyone. We are spending about $200 in all rescue operation and legal support and everything. And if we combine all the legal procedures to ensure the conviction of those perpetrators, but also rehabilitation facilities under government schemes, we spend about $500 in each case. But Dhavalji, you can correct me. In all this, right from the beginning of gathering information to rescue operations to legal course of action, and then following up the case up to the rehabilitation facilities are provided under government schemes. And the immediate return through the government scheme is more than $4,000. But the long term you can think of that once she will, or girls and boys like her, will study and go to school and learn life, then the situation would be different. So every single minute matters, as I said. Every single child matters. Every single bit of support matters. Every single action for making this world a better place will definitely help in making our sustainable world, peaceful world. Thank you so much. When I was receiving my Nobel Prize, I lost my papers, so everybody was shocked. And a story which I read in my childhood came to my mind, and I told them. There was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds were rushing for a better place, leaving jungle, for a safer place, including King Lion. A lion noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight towards the fire. And he shouted, "What are you doing, committing suicide?" She replied, "No, sir. I was born and grew up in this jungle. I can't leave. I am going to extinguish this fire." He asked more surprisingly, "How? How come?" And she said, "Sir, look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. I am doing my bit." She said, "I am doing my bit." I am not a typical NGO person. I work with hundreds of NGOs globally. I am not in politics, but today I can say that I am here to say that there is a tiny hummingbird inside each one of you. We keep on suppressing her because of our own egos or ambitions or many layers of, external layers or internal layers of glamour and fame and whatnot, power. But the tiny hummingbirds, time to time, tell each one of us, do your bit. Dear sisters, dear brothers, I am here to awaken that tiny hummingbird inside each one of you. Do your bit for the society. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.